Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by Zebra Code. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how to write a CSV file in C++. In the course of this video, we will create a CSV file, read a CSV file by using the fstream header file. We will use the ifstream class, use the ofstream class, which are both part of the fstream header file. Now, with that said, let's open our IDLE to create our C++ file. But before that, please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, take a minute to subscribe. Now, I have my IDLE open. I am using Sublime Text. You can use any IDLE for this task. It will be fine. I have a folder which I created in my last video, which was for reading a CSV file with C++. In that folder, I have some files. The name of the folder is CPP and CSV, and I use these last two files, students.cpp and undergrads.csv files, in my last video. But today, I'm going to use this new file, which is books.cpp, to teach you how to read and write a CSV file with C++ using the fstream header file. With that said, now I'm going to enter some code in my books.cpp file. I will start by adding some header files. Include ifstream, include string, include fstream is header file, this header file will be very useful for this task, using namespace std standard int main return 0. This is just our standard template code. There is nothing really special at this stage except this fstream header file, which we have added and we will be using later on. Here we will begin by making an object of the ofstream class. I will call it bookdoc. And the name of the file will be my books.txt. Let's begin by creating a .txt file here. This can be a .txt file or a .csv file, but I will come to the CSV part of it later on in the video. For now, let's do the .txt first. I'm going to add some comments here. Let us create an object of the ofstream class. That's what we've just done here. I'll leave another comment here. Let us use an if statement to check that it can open the file. Let us use an if statement to check that it can open the file. The file is open, then we can write to it. If what? If bookdoc dot is open. Now we can do something with it. What are we going to do with it? We add data to it. So yeah, bookdoc book 1 introduction to C++. Book 1, Introduction to C++ by Murak Evans. New line. Another entry, book doc, book 2, advanced C++ by Gary Vance. New line, book doc, book 3, C++ for beginners by Uyi Smith. New line. Let's add a few more. Book doc, book 4, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence by Mary Jones. New line, semicolon, book doc, book 5, C++ is a cool language by Laura Dave. New line. We add one more, book doc, book 6, programming with C++ by Edward James. New line. So that's fine for now. There is something important we can do here. Let's use an if statement to check that the file was actually created successfully. See here, if not book doc dot fail cout file created successfully, end line. Save it. Now let's close our file. Book doc dot close, semicolon. Now we can run it. But before we do that, let's quickly look at what we have here. We have some header files added to our application, and we are using the ofstream class, which is a part of the fstream header file. And the name of our object is book doc, and it is going to create a file, mybooks.txt. Here at the moment, we don't have that file. So we say here, if book.doc is open, then do this. That is, add this data to it. And we are checking here if it's not book.fail, that is, if it doesn't fail, see our file created successfully. Now we are closing the object book.doc, and here we are closing the file. So now let's compile and run our application to see that it's working. We'll save it. You can run it from wherever you normally run your application, depending on the IDLE you are using. In my case, I'm going to use the CMD prompt, the command prompt, to navigate to where that file is and then run it. CD desktop and cd my intro and cd cpp and csv. Hit enter. Great. I have just navigated to this folder now. Now I'm going to compile it. G++ -0 run books.cpp. Hit enter. Great. There's an error here. It says cout was not declared in this scope. What could be the cause of that error? Oh, great. I forgot to add the ifstream header file. I can quickly do that. Include ifstream and save it. So we should have these 4 header files. And once again, let's compile and run it. Great. It was compiled successfully. Now I am going to run it. What are we running? Run books. Hit enter. Great. That was done successfully. Now you can see we have a file here named mybooks.txt. So let's double click on that file to see what the content looks like. Exactly. This is the file that we've just created. Book 1, Introduction to CPP by Murad Evans, and so on. We added 6 entries to it, and they are all in our mybooks.txt file. So we've just created a .txt file here now. This tutorial is about CSV file. The process is similar, or it's almost the same, but we can just make a little change to this one. If we change this one now to mybooks.csv, save it, that will be fine. But there is something we would just need to do here. We also have to make some changes to this part so that when we create our CSV file, the content will actually be comma separated. And to do that, I'm going to comment this one out and add something else that will be for the CSV file. Okay. To do that, I'll say here, book doc. Software development with C++ by Frank Ed. This semicolon there. So this first one here is software development with C++ by Frank Ed. Let's add another one. Book doc. Advanced programming concepts and tricks by Matt Wheels. New line, semicolon, one more, book doc, learning to code, learning to code by Mohammed Yusuf. New line. Okay, now let's save and run our file. First we need to compile it. Great, it was compiled successfully. At the moment we haven't got any CSV file here. I'm going to run it now. Run books. Great, it was run successfully, and now we have a file with the name mybooks.csv. So we can actually check to see what the file looks like. Mybooks.csv. Exactly. So we have here a file, software development with C++ by Frank Ed, advanced programming concept and tricks by Matt Wheels. Learning to Code by Mohammed Yusuf, and they are all comma separated. So this makes it different from the mybooks.txt file. So the .txt file and the .csv file, they are not the same because this one is actually comma separated. So this is how you create a CSV file and a .txt file in C++ using the fstream header file. So now this code actually has something for two different file formats, a .txt file and a .csv file. They are the same names, but the file formats are different. So there is something else we can do here. We can actually write our own code to open this file without having to click on the file to open it. In that case, we will use the ifstream class inside the fstream header to do it. Here we have closed the book doc. So to use the ifstream class, we need to open it again. Here I will say, let us read our file with the ifstream class in the fstream header file. To do that, we need to add some more code to our application. Here we will start to read our file, and to do that, let's create a variable of data type string, and it will point to the file path. Here I will say string my file path equals, where is our file path? In this case, we are navigating to this place, and we can also check it here, this area, my books.txt semicolon. Here we are going to create an object of the ifstream class. Let's call it book catalog semicolon. Now say book catalog dot open what? This time it's going to be my file path semicolon. Now let us check that it can actually open the file. We will use an if statement here. If book catalog dot fail, see error, unable to open the file. What's the name of the file that it's unable to open? My file path. End line. Return 1. Here we will do a while loop to print it out. While book catalog dot pick is not equals end of file. While book catalog dot pick is not equal the end of file. We'll create a variable here again, string records get line book catalog command records command single quote, and in between a comma semicolon. Now let's see out the record. See out records end line. Here we also have to close the book catalog. Book catalog dot close semicolon. Let me quickly go through what we have here before we compile and run our code. We have 4 header files here: ifstream, iostream, string, fstream. Actually, we could also have use this one here, but for now we have these 4 header files using namespace standard we have an object of the ofstream class. It's named book.doc and it's pointing to this file, my books.csv. Here we are checking if book.doc is open, and if it is open, then we do something with it. What are we doing with it? In this case, we are writing something to it, and what we are writing to it is a CSV file. Here we are checking if not book.doc failed, that is if it is successful, print out this message file created successfully. That is, if it is successful, print out this message file created successfully, and book.doc.close. We are closing it here. Now we are done with the ofstream object class. But we want to read the file. To be able to read the file, we also need to open it. In that case, we will use the ifstream class to do it. Here we have a variable of data type string, and it's named my file.path. It's pointing to the part of the file that we are going to open. In this case, it's .txt. The reason for that is we now have the two of them here. I'm coming to change it in a minute so that we also check the .csv, but for now we are going to open the .txt file. And the ifstream class has an object of book catalog which we have created here now. Now we say book catalog.open, open what? It's going to open this .txt file. Now we're going to check here to see that it's actually able to open it with an if statement. If book catalog.fail, give us this error message, unable to open it, and it's going to print out this file that it is unable to open. Here we are going to loop through it while book catalog.pick is not equals the end of the file. String record we have here, get line catalog record, and a semicolon here. But in this case, because we are going to read a .txt file, we can delete this. So now let's print out our file, and it's going to be records. Then we are closing the book catalog that we opened before. So now let's save it, compile, and run it. Great, it was compiled successfully. Now let's run it. Exactly. So now it is doing what we expected it to do. File created successfully. That was what we tested. Here now it says book 1 introduction to C++ by Murak Evans, book 2, and so on. This is the content of the mybooks.txt file. So now let's check the second one, which is going to be the mybooks.csv. Because that one is a comma separated file, we would need this command back. So I'm going to put it back. Now let's change this one to .csv. In this case, we are going to read the mybooks.csv file. Let's compile our code and run it again. Great, it was compiled successfully. Now let's run it. Exactly. Now if you look at it, what we have is the software development with C++ by Frank Ed. Then the second one is advanced programming concept and tricks by Matt Will. Learning to code by Mohammed Yusuf. This one is comma separated, and the other one was just a plain text file. So this is how you use the fstream header file to create a file and read a file. It could be a .txt file or a .csv file, and the two main classes we used are the ofstream and the ifstream classes inside the fstream header file. Up to this point, we have been entering data manually. You can also ask a user to enter data in your application. To do that, I am going to create another file now, and I will give it a name, user.cpp. Save it. Now in this user.cpp file, I'm going to enter some code, and we will give the user the opportunity to enter data, and we will do it interactively. We will take data from a user and save the data into a file. First of all, let's add some header files. Include ifstream, include string, include fstream, using namespace std standard. Here I have only included 3 header files. The fstream header file has the ifstream and ofstream classes. Int main return 0. Here we will create some variables of data type char, and they will be for first name, last name, nationality, and profession. There will be for first name, last name, nationality, and profession. Okay. Char, first name, send it 30 to take 30, about 30 characters. Char, last name, so 30. Char, nationality, put 50 here. Char, profession, let's put 50 there as well. Here we will create an object of the ofstream class. Now we name it saved file, so that will be ofstream saved file. So here now we can say saved file dot open, and we will name that file members dot txt. Now we will add data to our members file, that is saved file. See out, this application takes data from users and save it. See out, enter your first name. End line. Now let's get that first name, that will be C in dot get line, first name command, that was 30, semicolon. Now let's get the second name, C out, enter your last name, end line, C in dot get line, last name, I was also 30. Now let's get the nationality, C out, enter your nationality, end line. Let's get it, cin dot get line, nationality, that was 50, semicolon. And the last one there was for the profession. Let's quickly do that, cout, enter your profession or occupation, end line, cin dot get line, profession, that was 50, semicolon there. Now let us save and print our file. Saved file, first name, last name, nationality, profession, end line. This time we can close our file. Saved file dot close. Close the file. So this is what we have here. I think here we can add spaces so that everything doesn't get squeezed together. That will be space there. That will be space between first name and last name. Space between last name and nationality. And space between nationality and profession. So this application is going to take data from the user interactively and save it to a file. And the file that is going to save it to will be members.txt. At the moment, we don't have members.txt here because it has not been created. Okay, so now let's save, compile, and run our user.cpp file. To do that, will be g++ -o run user.cpp. Hit enter. Great, it was compiled successfully. Now let's run it. Run user. Great, it was run successfully. Now let's enter data. It says this application takes data from users and save it. Enter your first name. I will enter here Andy. Hit enter. Now enter your last name. I will enter here Williamson. Hit enter. Says now enter your nationality. I will enter here American. Hit enter. Enter your occupation. I'll enter here software developer. Hit enter. Great. Now we have a file here, members.txt. Let's check this file to see what it contains. Exactly, it has here Andy Williamson, American, software developer. So we could have done this one as well to be a CSV file. To do that, I will change this .txt now to .csv. Save it. Now let's run our application again and enter some data. Great, it was compiled successfully. Now I'm going to run it. Great, it was compiled successfully and run successfully. Now we have a file here, members.csv. The first one was members.txt. The new one is members.csv. At the moment, there won't be any data in it. We have to enter the data here. Enter your first name. Enter here, Vera. Enter your last name, Santos. Enter your nationality, Spanish. Enter your occupation, programmer. Hit enter. Great. Now let's check our members of CSV. Exactly. We have here Vera Santos, Spanish programmer. So in this tutorial, we have successfully used the fstream header file to create a CSV and a text file. We have also successfully used it to read a CSV and a .txt file by using the ofstream and ifstream classes inside the fstream header file. I hope you learned something from this video. I am also going to create another video on this same topic, which will be more advanced than these ones we have covered so far. Remember, if you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe to it, comment, share, or like the video. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.